I accidentally spotted a line in my daughter's school essay. Whenever mom leaves for work, pretty aunties come over. They bring me tons of snacks and let me play on the phone as long as I want. I wish mom would stay at work forever. Before we go on, hit subscribe and tell us in the comments where you're tuning in. My name's Sarah, and physician, and most of my waking hours belong to the hospital. In this line of work, personal time is a fantasy. Sometimes I don't see my kid for days. I'm off before sunrise while she's still asleep, and when my shift runs past midnight, I come home to a dark apartment where she's already long in dreamland. Intimacy with my husband, even less of a possibility. After a while, every blood-smeared male face in the trauma bay starts looking weirdly handsome. A married woman has needs. Believe me, after pulling a day shift plus a night shift, I raced home, starved for touch. A hot husband waited, broad shoulders, tapered waist, that bite-worthy V-cut, absent for 2 weeks. Any woman would be desperate. Besides, my husband's a personal trainer, all 8-pack abs and sun-kissed skin. Because my schedule's insane, he took a flexible gig at Harbor Fitness so he could handle childcare and housework. I stepped inside. Chloe had left for school. I dragged him straight toward the bedroom and got shut down with a reason I couldn't argue. Pulled my groin during squats. You're the trainer and you still get hurt? He shrugged. Lift long enough. Something always tears. I finally get one day off, I muttered, deflated. I swallowed the ache and tried to cool down. Don't blame me. I didn't plan on a strain. Miss me that much, he teased. I'm still in my 20s. The flush shot straight to my cheeks. So what now? I refused to give up. Eyes glued to his chiseled abs and bronze skin. He lifted both bandaged hands. Wrists are shot too. You'll have to wait. I hugged a throw pillow and tried to nap. Frustration humming through every cell. One day off. Wasted. After my rest day, the cycle restarted. Before I left, Chase handed me a packed breakfast like always. Eat properly. Don't overdo it. Stay hydrated. Thermos is filled. My heart melted. He ran the house and handled Chloe's routines. His paycheck's small, but I don't mind grinding harder. Halfway to the hospital, a colleague called to swap shifts. I agreed in a heartbeat. More family time. I practically skipped back upstairs, expecting to find him folding laundry. Instead, the deadbolt was engaged. A locked door meant someone was inside. Babe, I knocked. You home? No answer, yet the bolt was latched from within. Then I caught it. A woman's voice. My pulse spiked. I started kicking. Open up. 14 minutes later, the latch clicked. Chase's face was red. His eyes jumpy. Honey, you're back early. Forget something? Sweat beaded on his temples. My expression went steel cold. This is my house. I can't come home. I pushed past him and tore through the bedroom. Rumpled duvet. A faint perfume that wasn't mine. She had to be here, under the bed. Behind the curtains. Inside the wardrobe. Nothing. Looking for something? He asked. I swept my gaze over the living room, still empty. Maybe I'd imagined it. Why are you sweating? Early workout. You know my body fat creeps up if I skip a day. Your groin, upper body only. Your hands, too. He sighed. Babe, you're not suspicious, are you? I swear on my life. Thunder cracked outside just as he raised 3 fingers. He yanked them down. Coincidence. My doubt hardened. I searched every corner, even glanced over the balcony, 20th floor. No survivor. Last possibility, the guest bathroom. Usually lit for Chloe's night scares. Now dark. I stepped toward it. Chase blocked me. Seriously. I said nobody's here. A whiff of that same perfume drifted from the crack beneath the door. I need to pee. There's one in our bedroom, use that. The more he tried to stop me, the more certain I became someone was in there. I went back to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and aimed it at the bathroom door. Open it. Chase sounded scared. Babe, put the knife down. Open it. His hand closed over the knob, but just before he turned it, he turned on me. Bitter. Fine. Open it. Whether someone's in there or not, I'm divorcing you. Living with a paranoid nut like you is more than I can take. That gave me pause. I thought about everything Chase had done for the family. How our kid had grown up because of him. If someone was hiding in there, divorce was a given, but if no one was, I'd break his heart. What if it was just the new cologne he'd switched to? The look on his face said he wasn't bluffing. Yet the more he barred the door, the more I had to know. Chase, move or I'll gut you. The blade touched his chest. Finally, he stepped aside. I kicked the door open. A scream ripped from inside. My suspicion was spot on. Someone had been hiding. The woman wore only panties, arms frantically covering her chest. She saw me, saw the knife, and screamed non-stop. Dare to seduce my husband in my house. I'll kill you, bitch. Chase lunged from behind, snatching the knife. I didn't care. I punched her face barefisted. insisted. Women don't hit hard, but there are plenty of soft targets. After the first blow to her cheek, every other fist landed on her breasts. It hurts like hell and won't leave obvious bruises. I'm a doctor. I know exactly where to strike. Calm down. Listen, I'm here for Coach Vance's private training session. She kept lying, but I tuned her out. I straddled her and hammered punches into her body. Chase wrapped his arms around me from behind and lifted. I still managed 2 kicks before he dragged me off. I spun and raked my nails down his face. The three-way brawl got so loud the neighbors called the cops. We were hauled to the Riverdale Police Precinct in the Bronx, New York. In the mediation room, I accused Chase of cheating. The officer asked for proof. There's a security camera in the living room. When I opened the app, the feed was dead. Chase, guilty conscience much? He stayed stone-faced. We really were having a lesson. A private training session in underwear? Tell it to the ghosts. Without evidence. The cops told us to settle it ourselves. She sweated through her clothes, so she borrowed our bathroom to change. I locked the door so you wouldn't misunderstand. Chase insisted. I almost exploded. Glaring. I spat. I slave at the hospital, pulling extra shifts day and night, just so we can have more money. And you screw women in our home? Have you no shame? You told me you'd pulled ligaments in your thigh and hand. Asked me to wait. Turns out you were saving your energy for other women. I'm the biggest idiot alive for swallowing your crap. You don't avoid women, you avoid me. Tell me the truth. How many? How long? I was losing it. I just needed an answer. Chase stammered. Babe, it's not what you think. Nothing happened. Don't call me babe. You make me sick. Furious, I cursed myself for not filming them. A man and a woman. Door locked. Claiming a workout? Who'd buy that? They could have at least invented a better excuse. Sarah, I really am her trainer. Training naked now? I wasn't letting go. Women's intuition isn't fiction. I'd swapped shifts and come home early. If I hadn't, would they have rolled around on my bed? Imagining the sheets I'd chosen so carefully stained by them turned my stomach. Rage scorched my chest. I was nearly rabid. Believe what you want. I can't help that. Chase said. Those words snapped the last thread of control. I snatched the ceramic mug off the precinct desk and smashed it over his head. Sarah, you've lost it. Blood streamed down his face. Officers restrained me. Minutes later, the cops checked Harbor Fitness's records and informed me the woman, Ginger, held a membership and Chase was her trainer. 10 sessions. $2 grand total. Ginger was livid, with no proof of adultery. She refused mediation and demanded a medical exam so she could sue me for assault. I wasn't worried. Her only visible injury was faint redness on her cheek. She knew it, but she still wouldn't let it slide. You'd better apologize, or I swear I'll press charges. I stayed cocky, thanking med school for teaching me how to hit without a trace. Go ahead. Lawsuits need evidence. The security camera is broken, so I lost my proof of your affair, but you've got nothing either. Ginger only laughed, scornful. I've got a witness. She jutted her chin toward Chase, and I whipped my head around. You're going to testify for her. My voice cracked like cheap glass. He was choosing another woman over me. Babe, just apologize, he said. I don't want this dragged into court. It'll get ugly. You misunderstood. That's all. We're completely innocent. I stared at the stainless steel pen cup in the middle of the table. One good swing and it would cave in both their skulls. Right. But I couldn't. If I let rage steer, they'd walk free and I'd be the one in cuffs. My child would pay the price. Chase, come to the hospital with me for a semen stain test. One positive swab and whatever just happened would be carved in evidence. The officer reminded me, gently, that even a positive wouldn't prove assault. Chase could claim he'd simply jerked off unless we scraped it from inside her. And if he'd used a condom, we'd hit another dead end. My shoulders sagged. Ginger would never cooperate. The cops couldn't force her. Under the officer's mediation, I apologized, signed the settlement sheet, and killed the case. Back home, the anger fermented. I pictured driving a kitchen knife straight into Chase's ribs. Then remembered I couldn't win that fight barehanded. I dropped the idea, but not the mission. I grabbed a paring knife and walked into the living room. Chase stiffened. What are you doing? Cameras are fixed, he warned. You lose your temper. It's all on tape. I yanked open the fridge and plunged the blade into a watermelon. Red juice bled across the tile. A sticky crime scene. I laughed coldly. Of course the security camera worked now. When it should have been broken, he swallowed hard, waited until I returned to the kitchen, then mopped the floor on tiptoe. After that, he vacuumed, laundered, cooked, parented, the perfect house husband. To a stranger, nothing had changed. That night I lay stiff in bed. Only when he thought I was was asleep did he dare stretch out beside me, as if I'd let it end there. Talk, I hissed. When did you start screwing Ginger? How many others? A personal trainer meets countless women. I'd stupidly believed Chase was the loyal, simple type. They'd flirted under my own roof. Maybe my glare scared him. Honey, I swear, no more sessions at home. Ever. Just don't stay mad, okay? The bastard still imagined a future with me. Cheating is binary, 0 or infinity. After betrayal, us is a sick joke. The thought of him grinding on other women in our sheets turned my stomach. I snatched my pillow and moved to Chloe's room. Even looking at him made me nauseous. A walkaway divorce demands evidence. Fortune intervened. A departmental shuffle landed me in behavioral health. My shifts evaporated overnight. Every morning I pretended to clock in, then parked behind the strip mall and tailed Chase. 4 days. He never left the block except for school runs. At home, he tiptoed around, cooking, scrubbing, sweet as a sitcom spouse. Sometimes I almost forgot. Almost. If only he hadn't cheated. But if is worthless. That evening I helped Chloe with homework. Her essay caught my eye. My mom. I read. Heart thumping. Kids shouldn't carry adult wars. I wish mom didn't come home every day. Because when she's gone, pretty aunties bring me candy and let me play games on their phones. I saw red. Concrete proof. Chase had paraded women through our house more than once. No wonder Chloe's vision had cratered. She'd been glued to strangers' phones. I slaved double shifts in the desperate to give them a better life, while he played stud and turned our daughter into collateral damage. I wanted him erased from the earth. I stormed the bedroom and punched every soft spot I could reach. He didn't hit back, but even that didn't vent the poison. Next morning, he sauntered out in a white tee and sky blue jeans, cologne cloud trailing, eye candy, exactly why I'd fallen. I tracked him to Harbor Fitness. Through the window, he demonstrated squats to a male client, professional and innocent, for now. He was probably on guard against me. I didn't linger either. After strolling around for a bit, I went to pick up the kid. Outside Peterson Elementary School's gate stood a man dressed almost exactly like Chase. If he hadn't been a couple of inches shorter, I'd have sworn it was him. I had to admit, tastes don't change overnight. The resemblance still snagged my attention. He was hovering at the same spot I always wait. 3rd grade. Class 2. So his child and my daughter are classmates. Hi, I'm Chloe's mom. And you are? The man turned, giving a warm smile. Hey, I'm Sophie's dad. Haven't seen you around. Usually Chloe's dad does the pickup, right? I nodded. Yeah. I've been swamped. Sophie's mom's the same, forever tied up. Lately, she's on a fitness kick, so she's off the clock for school runs too. The word fitness snapped my body tight. Oh, which gym? My husband's a trainer at Harbor Fitness. Funny, that's exactly where she goes. Says the coach is fantastic, her shape's never been better. A wild guess slammed into my head, and I just blurted it. Your wife wouldn't happen to be Ginger, would she? Jason stared. How did you know? So that's how they paired up, right here while fetching the kids. I spilled everything. No filter. No man can stomach a wife's betrayal. Jason's face went slate gray as he collected his daughter and marched off. The instant we walked in, Chloe apologized. Mom, I'm sorry. I copied Sophie's school essay. The teacher already scolded me. Please don't be mad, okay? With those puppy eyes. How could I stay upset? But wait. Copied Sophie. So Jason fooled around under his own roof. Or, did you lift it word for word or tweak it? Mom, Sophie wrote that her mom brings uncles home. I was smart. I swapped it so dad brings aunts home. She looked so proud I almost laughed. If she's telling the truth, Ginger drags men back to her place, and Chloe's nearsighted squint proves Chase drags women back to ours. I racked my brains. How do I nail down proof? I know Chase's phone passcode. Sometimes when mine's charging, I borrow his. That means the numbers he uses with those women must be on a different handset. Sure enough, there's another phone somewhere. I ransacked every drawer. Zip. Where would it be? Sitting on the toilet. I tilted my head and noticed the ceiling panel looked loose. I dragged over a stool, popped the tile, and felt around. Bingo, a phone. None of my guesses unlocked it, so I paid $20 for a hacker. The text threads were obscene. Sorry she barged back and ruined it. I'll make it up to you. How exactly? Sarah's been tailing me. Let's use the Harbor Fitness locker room shower. So much hotter in there, you insatiable perv. Cut it out. Yet you still writhe under me. My face went green. Not just Ginger, there are others. Judging by the dates, he's been cheating since we got married. I was blind, completely fooled. That hidden phone is smoking gun proof. Right now, they're probably going at it in the shower. I dialed Jason. Thank heavens I'd saved his number, and called the cops. Reporting prostitution at Harbor Fitness. Jason and I arrived together. The cops rolled up right after. Before we even pushed into the locker room, we heard breathless flirting, and, on the tiles, 5 condom wrappers. I actually counted 5. I almost laughed at myself for keeping score. The manager trotted alongside, coughing warnings until an officer shushed him. The door swung open. Steam from the running shower blurred the view, but the 2 pale bodies were impossible to miss. Ah! Who are you people? Ginger shrieked and shrank back. Jason knew that voice, his wife. He exploded, charging in to punch and kick anything that moved. I slipped past, snapped a few crystal-sharp photos, then went for Chase's face, clawing bloody furrows. By the time the vapor cleared, the cops had hauled us apart. Harbor Fitness was shut on the spot. The manager plus the 4 of us were driven to Riverdale Police Precinct. Chase sat grimy and wilted, avoiding my eyes. Babe, I messed up. I'll never do it again. Weren't you the one swearing you two were just friends? Babe, Ginger came on to me. I slipped once. I swear I'll quit that job and stay home, okay? You worthless sack of shit. I snarled. You not only cheat and screw everything that moves, you still expect a free ride. Where the hell is your shame? The profanity just ripped itself out of me. Ginger didn't even have the bandwidth to hear what Chase was saying. She was too busy groveling at Jason's feet. Jason looked ready to kill. If the cops hadn't pinned his arms, he would have beaten her to death right there. I pulled out the spare phone Chase had hidden and, in front of the officers, played every single text thread stored inside. Chase lunged to snatch it. Sarah, that's my phone. Sorry. Right now it's evidence. The proof was mountain high. No amount of lying could flatten it. In the end, the police classified the pair as engaging in sexual misconduct for hire. The standard offer was 10 days detention and a $5,000 fine each. But my eyes locked on the red rash speckling Ginger's forearm. A rash I knew by heart. Officer, what happens if someone knowingly has syphilis, HIV, any infectious disease, and still sells or buys sex? The cop's face went grave. If a person is aware they have syphilis, gonorrhea, or another serious STD and continues to solicit or sell sex, New York Penal Law Section 230.30 applies. Intentional transmission of a sexual disease is punishable by up to 4 years in prison, probation, or conditional discharge, plus a fine. Furthermore, organizing or coercing others into prostitution under Section 230.40 carries 5 to 15 years in prison and a fine. In serious cases, 15 years to life, plus a fine or asset forfeiture. Inducing, harboring, or introducing others to prostitution, Section 230.50, is punishable by up to 1 year in jail or 3 years of probation, plus a fine. For repeat offenses or serious circumstances, up to 4 years in prison and a fine. The gym manager started yelling that he was innocent, that he'd had no idea, that everything was their private behavior. At the hospital, the tests came back exactly as I expected. Ginger, syphilis. Chase, positive. He collapsed. What am I supposed to do? Ginger didn't want a criminal record. She begged. Officer, I swear I didn't know I had it. I'm innocent. Jason and I got tested too. Negative. Thank God. We still swallowed a course of pep meds, just in case it was lying dormant. I'd hoped to see the 2 of them locked up for 10 years. But prostitution requires a money trail. The gym's books only showed women paying for classes. Legally, this was mere adultery, moral, not criminal, and there was zero proof the manager had pimped anyone. So the whole thing fizzled. You think I'd swallow that? In old times, they'd have been run out of town. So I uploaded every last text thread of Chase's onto my social media feed, zero blur. Every woman tagged by name. Let every husband in Riverdale come collect his wife. The clip blew up. I even cashed a nice ad revenue check. Jason copied the playbook, dumping Ginger's chat so every wife could see if her man was on the list. Overnight, the scandal became the town's favorite dish to chew over coffee. Harbor Fitness went belly up. Nearby gyms caught the splash and saw memberships nosedive. I divorced Chase. Walkaway divorce. He left with the clothes on his back. The house felt contaminated, so I sold it and bought a 2-bed condo in Westchester County. Plenty for my daughter and me. Daddy isn't going to live with us anymore? I crouched to her level. Daddy caught something contagious. He doesn't want to give it to you, so he's staying away for now. When she's older, I'll tell her the rest. Right now she's too small. Chase kept lurking outside Chloe's school. I'd film him and post a quick clip. The crowd of scorned women and cuckolded men did the rest. He turned into the rat the whole town wanted to stone. Come near my daughter again and I'll end you. He finally slunk out of Riverdale. Peace settled over our house. Later I heard, bro broke and jobless. He'd tended bar in Rockland County, cracked someone's skull in a fight, and earned himself 10 years in New York State prison. Serves him right. At least the divorce shielded Chloe. Jason told me Ginger, already stage 4 syphilitic by the time her divorce was final, drank herself senseless and died in a Brooklyn apartment. One night, Jason floated the idea of us. I turned him down. From now on, my life holds only my parents, myself, and my daughter. No one else. Second marriages burn more fuel than first ones. And I'm done with invisible scoreboards. No more inner tug of war, just me, living clean and free. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked it, hit like and share it with a friend. We can't wait to read your take in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales. See you next time.